500 likes for the scariest videos in 2023. When I say suspicious, I mean it with all my heart and mind. Why so serious, you may ask? And I will ask you here to stop referencing movies during your speech. Anyway, as we have in the upcoming video, there is a guy who goes by the name Experienced Paranormals. Is that really his name? Yeah, his parents were so high that day that they decided it'd be better to call him something that he could use as his main tag name on his social media account when he grows up. But social media didn't exist when he was born. Just don't be picky and let it slip for once. This man was at night watching over the house next to him from the balcony when something very eerie caught his attention, and he went full focus mode towards it. He lost sight of the main target. What are you even talking about? What target? I don't know. Let's go back a little. What caught his attention in the first place? Was it some chick? It could have been, because it was so dark where she was seen that you couldn't tell whether she was human or some sort of jinn. And that's what ignited the adventurer side of Alen to go and take a closer look at it, to find out the terrifying truth that will most likely make you tremble, even just a little. Was it so scary? Not to a high extent, but at least she shaved it. And regarding the video, he entered the building to see what the creature was, but upon investigation, he found no one. Until the very end, he heard what sent shivers down his spine.
Alguien más lo vio.
Creo que ahora me tocó a mí. Esta casa está en construcción y desde hace rato estoy viendo que algo pasa de aquí para arriba o de arriba para la derecha. No sé, creo que ahí se vio. No sé si de arriba para la derecha. No sé, creo que ahí se vio. No sé si... No mames.
Vi un hombre pasar.
Amigos, son casi las 3 de la mañana. Salí a fumar y logré ver que se ve una luz ahí. Y pues vamos a ver qué es lo que se alcanza a ver. Ahorita ya es muy noche, de hecho me pueden echar a la patrulla los vecinos por salir a estas horas. Pero bueno, vamos a ver. Esta es una casa que está completamente vacía. No vive absolutamente nadie. Pero pues bueno, vamos a entrar. Y pues no hay nadie, espero no haya un loquito o algo así. Uy, escucho un ruido ahí arriba. Vamos a ver qué hay. Se escuchó ahí un ruido, pero pues a ver, vamos. Esto está completamente en construcción. Aquí no tiene que haber nadie. Pero pues a ver, vamos a entrar acá. Aquí no hay nada. Aquí tampoco. Y pues acá tampoco, amigos. Desde aquí se puede ver pues todo lo que hay. Ya les digo que es una casa que está en construcción. ¡Oh, la madre! No mames, yo la neta sí me voy de aquí. Neta, esto no me agrada. De hecho me puse súper nervioso. Y ya mejor me voy.
I don't know if this building was left abandoned or if it's still under construction, but it's also important to point out some facts, such as that this man is dealing with paranormal hauntings inside his own property. The second video on the list was listed as one of the lost and found videos on the list of videos the uploader has made. It feels as if it took me 30 years to finish that one sentence, but the next video is 100% proven to be a lost footage, and it's very well known and popular in this industry. Is it actually? Yeah. Why are you questioning me as if I ever lied to you like this? I never even twist the story. I always get straight into it, and a lie to you from me. Now, the Croatian lost footage, what is it? Who found it? Who was involved in making it? Where do they live? And how many kids do they have now? How about I also tell you my address in detail? As if I were with them and made it out alive that day, only to tell the story along with the way I was able to be the last one out. All the information that was gathered about the video can be considered too short to even be mentioned. So are you going to say something about the freaking video or not? Yes, of course. 2 teenagers from Croatia were chilling at night outdoors. They had a camera, so they went on making a video. That was back in 2005, and it was found on either the 4th of October that year or the 10th of April of that same year, depending on the country of which the uploader of the footage is from. Nonetheless, these two caught a creep lingering around them. He was very awkward, as if he was trying to chase them or something. But it also seems as if there were multiple of them. At the end, as they were trying to get to the elevator and the obvious Hollywood horror movie ending, the creep came out of the elevator and the video ended with the camera crashing.
Čekam te 5 minuta. Ovoga...
Gle kaj imam.
Daj, nema me snima, nema me snima.
Gle kaj imam.
Nema me snima.
Rekao sam ti da sam kupio novu kameru, nisam vjerovao.
Dobro, ko je?
Ide pogledaj kako izumira. Prebolesno.
Ko?
Cool.
Ovoga... Čekaj, snimaš sad ili?
Da.
Daj, nema me snima, please, se bože. Nema me snima.
Da, mu nešto radit, ne znam, snimit neko.
Ajdemo do Mate.
Možda.
Nema me snima, ti što...
Dobro, dobro. Evo.
5 likova u kafiću.
Pa da.
Mi nismo... Gledam kliku. Gle lik piše tamo, gdje ga snima. Ne, ali piše, kaj radi? Sam stoji.
Ali, ajmo dalje mi.
Kaj radi samo?
Pa nemam pojma.
Dobro, nema veze, aj, neće idemo mi, kaj? Nema me snima.
Cijelo vrijeme mi je bilo onako ono, blurano onako, kad sam dolazio, nemam pojma kaj. Kaj je to?
Fuck. Gledaj.
Bravo.
Gledaj lika. Au, Isuse Bože.
Ček, to je li to ono opet?
To je ono lik koje piše. Kaj je? Kaj je?
Dobro, da, jo.
Koji lik? Koji vrag?
Nemam pojma, daj ga šutni, ja ne znaš. Daj ga šutni.
Neću se. Mislim da je pijan ili nešto.
Okej, mislim da idemo ovako. Ajmo mi odavde, ajmo.
Fuck, Isuse Bože, ti mu vidio facu, snima ga, snima ga.
Pa naravno da sam vidio u facu, vidiš.
Nisam skužio, čekaj, kaj je bilo s... Isuse Bože, ajmo ga
Zato,
snimiti.
nema šanse da idem snimiti tog lika, vidiš da nas je napalo, kaj je tebi ono?
Ne, daj čovječ, onak možemo ga staviti na YouTube,
Da,
onak. To je samo stari deda pijani.
ja idem, nema
Čudnom
šanse.
facom, onak, daj ajmo ga snimiti se Bože, Isuse.
Ček,
Da to on, Isuse Bože. Kak je došao tu? Isuse Bože, daj... Kaj je, jel to on, Isuse Bože? Snimaj ga, sad ga snimaj, sad nemoj pobjeć. Kaj radi, Isuse Bože? Kaj radi?
ne znam. Ej, jel si ti u redu, onak?
Oprostite, jel vam treba pomoć? Koji vrag, onak?
Idemo do Mati, ne, nema
Da
šanse.
sam pijan. Ok, znači, Matija, studeni... Aha,
Cool.
otvoreno. Kak je pusto.
Creepy. Koji kat?
5. kat.
The authenticity of this footage remains unverified. At the time it was recorded, YouTube had only just emerged, Facebook hadn't yet gained widespread popularity, and other social media platforms were still on the horizon. So, one might argue that if the video was indeed staged, its objectives may not have been solely about attracting an audience, but could have had other motives. Zark and his haunted house. Wait, isn't that the same man whom you cried over ending his haunted house stories due to the fact that you fell in love with his paranormal activities and that you credited him for the high legibility his videos seemed to have? You kneeled down and felt the pleasure of his tapes, and we also remember you saying daddy in the middle. Now that you've gone too far, it's true that I really like his videos and credit him, and maybe I kneeled, but I didn't go insane to say daddy. I actually kept silent that day so I wouldn't expose myself, so you admit your pathetic behavior. Anyhow, if he ended the series and moved into a new house, why do you feature him today? Did you miss something? Or is it just a recap? It's neither, in fact. This man seems to have an attachment, because even though he moved into a new house that I almost mistook to be the same property due to the decoration, it wasn't so long before he started dealing with the past once again. What a horrible journey this man has to go through, as he was trying to live his new life, to move on from the past, and forget about Riri. That last one was about me, by the way. Anyway, as Zark was recording another video for his channel, doing a reaction to someone else's haunted house experience, here they come knocking at his door once again. So the time for Zark has come to pay the rent. I wasn't talking about this situation, I meant the demonic ghosts. They literally just knocked on his door. Upon checking from the peephole, they shook the door or pushed it, but Zark backed down. While he was once chilling, the piano toy started his musical career. And if that wasn't enough, a previous incident he used to have in his previous apartment with the clock batteries started occurring once again.
So I'm sure some of you have watched my last reaction video, but nobody even knew what actually happened. This was the video.
Oh my god, oh my god.
How did she even manage that? Oh, there's the white shadow. The piano just starts, making, it just turns on by itself and starts making, first it was very quiet, I couldn't hear it much. But later on, the sound got increased and you could see the sound is like something like laughing. That was one of the incidents. This happened in June.
मैंने तो उधर गया इधर भी मैंने से ऊपर हो गया मैंने हाथ बंद हो रहा है ना मैं बड़ी नोटिस कर रही हूँ सेम टाइम सब हुआ
Coincidence है कब हुआ है बंद दोनों
वो पहले हुआ था ना ये अभी मैं देखी बेडरूम वाला
बैटरी यूज करके चेंज So just recently the same incident happened. What actually happened in the previous home, both the clocks stopped working simultaneously. Oh, there's the white shadow. Oh, there's the white shadow. Let me just check the camera.
I honestly keep forgetting what was specifically wrong with the clock batteries. Was it that both stopped at once or that the batteries were not running empty? Are we supposed to give you the answer? I thought you were the narrator here. Let's talk about that one man who has neither a real name nor an identity. It feels like I'm talking about myself, but the guy we will be talking about has nothing to do with me other than being on my list today. Mansour, even though this name doesn't sound related to his origins, let's keep going. This dude is investigating one of the most haunted hospitals in his country, according to my analysis and expectations. But there have to be some freaky reasons behind these expectations, and there are in fact. This abandoned hospital, if you can even call it abandoned, is haunted by all different kinds of paranormal activities, from the very simple ones, such as chairs sliding and a whole couch shifting from its place, to the more heavy ones, such as a whole freaking kid, or what is supposed to be called a jinn in the form of a human kid appearing out of nowhere. Mansour didn't provide any context to his investigation. It even seems as if the videos were ripped off from another account and edited to only show the paranormal moments. Mansour wasn't alone on this trip, unlike us, who have to stay virgins forever. But I wasn't talking about him emotionally. I meant that he had a partner investigating in a different section of the building. Let's see what else Mansour has to show. Did we talk about the fire part? Yes, fellas, there was fire in this investigation. Fire in your heart. No, I meant Mimu let up some fire, but it had nothing to do with the whole paranormal part of it.
Por mi norte la luz, por mi sur, por mi este, por mi oeste. Ahí está. Por mi norte, por mi sur, por mi este, por mi oeste. Dios Padre, Hijo, Espíritu Santo. Vaya de aquí. Uy, me movieron esa silla. Sí. Entonces, ¿quieres que yo me vaya? Voy a filmar la silla porque van a decir que es hilos, ¿no? Apagaron la luz, 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 apagaron la luz. Felipe. Hola. Gonorrea, gonorrea. Se me puso la piel de gallina parica. Mira el gos, mira el gos. ¿Fuiste tú? ¿Alguien pasó allá? Sí, ¿cómo suena el gos? ¿Eres la misma entidad con la que yo estaba hablando ahorita? ¿No? silla de ruedas. ¿Eres un hombre? Marica, la luz. ¡Ay! ¡Mire la luz allá, huevón! ¡Ah! Momentico. Apagaron la luz. Voy para allá. Uy, mi madre. Ay, jue puta. ¿Y eso dónde sale?
Todo está bien, están escuchando ruidos también acá abajo.
Nada está bien. Aquí me están azotando, me están prendiendo las luces de las habitaciones y tirándome camillas.
No, Felipe, si es que si usted está completamente abandonado y como le digo, allá en esa bala no hay luz, no hay luz.
Me acaban de cerrar una puerta. Voy a entrar a la puerta que me cerraron. No. No me he ido. Uy. ¡Jueputa! 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 Oscar.
¿Qué pasó?
Marica, había un niño, huevón.
¡Jueputa!
Oscar, había un niño, huevón.
I'm curious about what caused the delay in chasing after this alleged shape-shifting djinn. From what I gather, he had to do a full 180 to figure out what was going on and where that noise had originated. But if you had to pick between these two phenomena, which one would you say is the more entertaining of the two? Do you know what happened back in 1843? And how would you know? You have been wasting your time all these long years on social media. Are you being real now? We get that you're stupid, but this is beyond the regular level of stupidity. Do you think so? I appreciate that, and I try my best. Back at that time, the Oakland Cemetery in Iowa City began serving as the main burial ground for the residents of that same city. How dark? And it gets even darker once you know the truth about the Black Angel Memorial Service that this cemetery is very well known for. Let me guess, it was built to memorize all these black innocent people who lost their lives back in the dark times in the US. Your imagination is pretty colorful, I give you that, but it's completely off point. You don't say. Are you surprised yet? Let me give you an even higher voltage of shock. This Black Angel was originally colored gold, and then it was replaced by an exact replica by so-called thieves because they wanted this very precious golden treasure. Isn't that the completion of your story? Yes, if it was some stupid sketch on the internet, but the original color actually faded off with time until it turned completely black. People said this was the result of all the people who lost their lives after making direct contact with this thing, as they believe this statue, which was built as a memorial to Nicholas Feldevert, is cursed. Some people have different claims about this statue and its history. Some have said that if you make contact with it, a light will eventually cost you your life, and some have said it was seen moving and flying around. And I said the order should have been here 20 minutes ago, but it's been 2 hours already. Just because I live in a different state doesn't mean they couldn't make it on time. The Midwest Ghost Hunter is here to find the truth, and in doing so, he caught some very interesting and scary activities, from disembodied voices and whispers to the handles of one of the mausoleum gates moving on its own. He caught some weird light blobs, and while taking pictures of the angel statue, his true photography skills didn't disappoint.
See if anyone's over here.
Off in the distance, I heard what sounded like a man's voice talking out loud.
Is there anybody over here?
Okay, either I'm going crazy or those were footsteps. Gotta be careful what I ask. That'd be terrifying. What in the world was that noise? That was eerie. Oh my god. I think I know where that's coming from now. I feel like it came from this mausoleum. Could you make that sound again? I decided to leave a camera recording the door, and thank God I did. Okay, that was weird. Later in the night, I started noticing these strange white glows appearing in the corner of my vision. In this particular shot, you can see a glow manifesting near one of the graves. Whoa, I think I got one. Hello? Anyone there? You can tell that door hasn't been touched in ages. I got cobwebs all over my hand. No way! It just knocked back. Shoot, I'm gonna try knocking again. Anyone home? Holy crap. There's definitely something moving around in there. I want to listen. Could you say something? Alright, I'm gonna back up a little bit. If there's a ghost in this mausoleum, could you knock on that door again? No way. Holy shit. Okay, either I'm going crazy or I just saw someone sitting on that tombstone over there. Is there somebody over there sitting on that tombstone? See that red light? That is a microphone. It'll record your voice. Do you have any message? Any words of wisdom? Oh man, I don't know if my eyes are tripping out, but I think I was just kind of staring at her face too long, but it looked like she was looking right at me. What happens to me now? Whoa, she looked really messed up in that photo. What the heck was with that? Why does she look like that? Okay, that was weird. Okay, it's taking the pictures fine now. She is different. She creeps me the f*** out. Okay. What the hell? Oh. Okay. What the?
The shaky photos are not enough evidence of the claims people had. I mean, these people got to the point where they said it was flying around. Even I wouldn't dare tell stories as such. And how about the part where he wanted to take advice from an expired priest? You couldn't find someone a little more alive. Here is Bobby, the man whom we always feature on this channel whenever he has something new to offer, even if it's illegal. I was talking about his videos where he captured paranormal evidence. What does he have to offer us today? Some weed for the cows in the farm. Bobby has been messed up with his schedule recently due to work and family-related situations. And as he claims, this is the first time for him in 4 months that he is alone in the house because usually his little daughter would be with him. Don't tell me these ghosts kidnapped her and asked for a ransom to release her. Where did you read that story? Because it sounds so fake to me. No, but she went to some place with her mother. Who cares about that? You're here for the paranormal activity. Isn't that what you came for? What's that? You want something else. So as Bobby was sitting alone, chilling, he heard a noise coming from the closet right in front of him. He was like, is something trying to open these cabinets? So he decided to record it, but more activity occurred as the camera started rolling, such as footsteps from upstairs and the gaming chair right in front of him doing a nice sweep. How horribly neat. But that thing on the floor, which I have no idea what it's called, moved slightly. But wait, what about the title on screen? As if you would actually be concerned about it in reality.
That cabinet keeps rattling. It stopped. As soon as I started hitting record, it stopped. No, listen. It's like something keeps trying to pull that open. And our neighbors and all that move, so I know it's not them. And I hear footsteps again. See, this sounds like someone was pulling on it. Hello? Yo. Yo. No, no, no. No, no, no. Yo. Bro. Listen, y'all hear the footsteps? No, no, no. Yo. Yo. You do it again? Yo, I'm good on that, man. That thing just tried to pull open again. Alright, you gotta go now. Like, yo, you gotta go now. Y'all hear the footsteps? Yo. Please leave me alone.
This man was so chill, he almost made me fall asleep over his yo's, and so did the ghost in his house. I'm pretty sure they were also chill with him. It's like the more you resist, the more we rage. Have you ever heard of a knockoff of Disneyland? Well, even if you haven't, I'm pretty sure you can make something out of this question when it comes to its location. As we all know, China is the country where you can find copycat versions of everything. Reno, Mexico is a cheap copy of Disneyland that was built somewhere in Mexico back in 1988. But what about China? Yeah, what about her? Do you still think you have a chance with her? If you don't confess your love to that girl, she will slip into the heart of some other dude. Oh wait, you mean the country. This land wasn't built there, unfortunately. Now let's keep moving. After realizing that it was a terrible idea to build such a place to be a version 2 of one of the most famous places on Earth, and after some accidents here and there that caused the lives of many children, they decided to abandon the place for good. This was the best statement they have made regarding this land. If you can even call it a land, based on what I saw. My house's backyard has more space than this land, and I don't even really have a backyard. How frightening. I was at first sold on the idea that this place was abandoned due to the accidents that took place there, but after looking at the designs of the statues they had there, which were supposed to represent some fantasy kids' characters, I realized that they should have abandoned the place even before officially opening it. This park was built to be closed later, to become one more creepy place on this earth. Anyways, after the paranormal rumors that surrounded the park, 2 very brave investigators decided to go all in to see what they could capture, only to be surprised by one of the prince's statues walking on its own.
Tengo una lamparota super expanded. Ah, bueno, tú tienes tu luz azul. ¿Sí?
Güey, ese es el velador de...
Es el velador, ¿no? ¡Velador! ¡Ey! ¡Velador!
Aguanta, espérate, ey. No te muevas. No mames, no te muevas de ahí. Güey.
¿Velador?
Ese no es el velador, güey.
Güey, no es el velador.
No. Aguanta. Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, Deja que mi cámara enfoque bien, güey. Eso no es el velador. No digas perras mamadas, güey. Perdón. ¡Ey! Se me cayó algo, güey. ¿Qué se me cayó? A la verga. Sentí que se me cayó mi cartera, pero no. ¡Hola! No digas cosas. No. Güey, ¿fue aquí? No digas mamadas, güey. Buenas, velador. No mames. Esta madre no pudo haber salido, está con reja. Está con reja, güey. No digas mamadas, güey. No digas mamadas, Joe. Miren. No digas mamadas, güey. No, Joe. No. No, güey, no mames.
¿Qué fue eso, güey?
No sé.
No mames, güey. No mames.
¿Crees que haya sido ella?
Güey, nos estamos metiendo más adentro del reino más. Banda, comparte.
No mames, güey, no mames.
Parece Te miran, ¿verdad?
Pareciera, pero no creo, güey. Güey, es que qué pedo, güey. Hola. Tú te moviste. Tú fuiste la que se movió. ¿Es así? No mames, güey.
Me voy a acercar tantito.
¿Tú fuiste la que se movió, mujer? A ver, güey.
Siempre dicen que hay que...
Güey, es que era el vestido también así, güey.
¿Verdad?
Amarillo.
Yo pensaba que era el velador, te lo juro, hermano.
Yo también, güey.
Qué bueno que me detuviste.
No, güey, no era el velador, mira. Blancanieves.
Blancanieves.
Ay, güey, dime que no era cierto, güey. No mames, güey.
Qué miedo.
Miren. Pero es que, güey, no creo que haya sido ella, güey, mira. Porque no se puede ni sostener esto, güey. Mira, y aparte está muy rompido todo, mira.
Sí, no, o sea, está hecha de fibra de
No mames, güey.
Pero ella no se puede mover.
Sería ella.
No tiene brazo, además.
Güey, porque yo no miro a nadie más, güey.
Está adentro, ¿verdad?
Buenas.
Buenas.
Yo no miro nada, ¿eh? Buenas noches.
Buenas noches, ¿hay alguien ahí? Te dije que adentro nos miraron desde arriba. Se vio una cara.
Hola. Vamos para allá. A no ser que le tengas que decir al vigilante que abra.
Solamente sería la manera. Como venimos con permiso, bueno, estamos con todo el respeto para no romper nada ni... ¿Escuchaste?
¿Hola?
¡Hola! Es adentro.
Sí, pues es adentro.
¿Cómo rayos entró?
¿Hay alguien ahí? Buenas. No mames. Verga, perdón. ¿Qué fue eso, güey?
No sé.
Güey, sentí mi mano que me la jalaban para allá.
¿Neta?
Sí, güey.
No mames. Ten cuidado. Vas a prender. No, y están en los cristales, es peligroso.
How could children even manage to get a good night's sleep after paying a visit to a spot like that? Take a gander at the expressions on a few of those statues. Even at this stage in my life, I might end up with nightmares if I merely glanced at one for a couple of seconds. The next video was titled Making a Deal with the Devil. It sounds like a great sponsor for their videos on YouTube, is it not? I'm not talking about a company named the Devil. They are literally making a deal with the real devil, the real thing, Satan himself. You mean the one behind chaos. At last, you understood and realized the danger we are facing right here. What danger are you talking about? We are not living in some cartoonish world, so chill. Thanks for reminding me, but the title doesn't say it all, as it's not what it seems to be. What do you mean it's not how it seems to be? How are you expecting us to assume anything else? Now you're the one who has to chill. Let's first take a look at the house they are investigating, which will eventually lead us to the truth behind these devil deal claims. The family seeks help from the paranormal investigators after their daughter Bree experiences scary behavior, including self-harm and thoughts of suicide. They've encountered physical attacks and eerie phenomena in their home, believing it's haunted by an evil presence. The investigators, Rocky and Josh, advise the family not to feed into fear, as it may empower the entity. The family's desire to regain their lives and the investigators' desire to help them so. Where does Satan stand in all this mess? Well, he is somewhere chilling, I'm sure, while his minions are doing their jobs. And what's their job title exactly? Architects and lawyers. Are you foolish or something? What do you think demons usually do when they invade a house? Let's find out what they were doing during the investigation, at least. Well, it's kind of lame for what they are capable of. Actually, they just made some banging sounds, talked through the EVPs, and knocked on the walls, plus having a conversation at the end.
I'm not gonna fear you. Where are you at inside this house? Just being in here, you've got like this heavy oppressive feeling, like a real sad feeling. And the weird thing is, EDI keeps showing 666. Is that a sign? I can hear you. I want to know why you're hurting this family. I command you, show yourself. Is that you? Come on, you got what you wanted. We're gonna do whatever it takes to help Bree. Is that all you can do is... Is that all you can do is knock on stuff?
Come on, I can hear you.
Witchcraft.
Who's doing witchcraft?
Gabriel.
Who's Gabriel? Is that what your name is?
Knock.
I just heard a knock. Man, it's freaking getting even hard to breathe in here. Oh, something just moved behind me. It sounds like it's in the closet. Freaking back of my neck's starting to burn.
Where are you? Hospital. Hell.
You've had a chance to hurt me. You didn't. All you did was piss me off. Sound like behind you, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Why you keep running from me? Did Sean make you angry? Who was that? Tell me your name.
Who was hurting Josh? That was weird. Sound like there's a woman like I told her.
Yeah, that wasn't much for a video with such title, but the real ending of this investigation was them blessing the house, which is completely the opposite of making a deal with the devil as known. It's usually more like selling your soul in return for something you seek, not let's be friends, and you leave the house with nothing in return. "4 years ago, and don't worry, I'm not about to open up to you. What I was going to say is that 4 years ago, the team of Mindseed went to the Arlington plantation house, which was built around 1819 or 1820 in Mississippi. The haunting of the Arlington plantation house effectively captures the chilling atmosphere with its suspenseful storytelling and eerie visuals. The historical setting adds depth to the narrative, while the ghostly encounters keep viewers on edge. That's what I thought was the actual history behind its haunting when I asked an AI system about it, until I realized it just made it up for me. How scary. So, today the Mindseed team is finally back at this mansion again. I'm saying finally, as if I have been waiting all these years for them to come back. Heck, spicy horror didn't even exist back then. Today is June 9th. I mean, today, John will chain himself up to the wall down in the dark basement of this mysterious building to try to communicate with the spirits inhabiting the place, as in their first investigation. They found a girl spirit wearing a hoodie sitting in the dark. A spirit wearing a hoodie. Yeah, they do that sometimes, I guess. At the beginning, before he chained himself, there were other noises and sounds like humming, but then the real terrifying event started to take place when Colton left John alone to the nearest hotel on the street. How rude. He left his friend alone in the dark. That was the plan. One chained himself while the other watched over him from the hotel room. When John was left alone, footsteps and banging sounds were heard, and a silhouette-like figure was seen walking around.
Damn. This place is rough, huh?
I think I heard something up there. Yeah. I think I heard something up there. Yeah. Stairwell to the basement is right underneath here. That is where it gets weird. Oh yeah. By far the scariest thing that happened 4 years ago when I was at this location was there was a phantom figure we captured on camera.
You a child? Can you tell me or make the temperature go to 5?
Oh. And I noticed it briefly in the shadows when we were filming, but when we went back and looked the second time, it was not there. You don't know what it feels like. You'll never be able to understand just by watching this video. Completely alone, chained to a wall in a basement of an abandoned building surrounded by woods, hearing the car drive off. It was absolutely horrifying.
Are you looking at the feed yet? I'm hearing all sorts of weird shit going on down here, bro.
I am like literally just about to set it up right now.
Yo, I'm hearing noises and stuff down here. The REM pod already went off once. You seen anything weird on your camera?
Nah, it looks good down here. There's a little delay from the mic, but that's it.
I'm not here to harm you, and I hope that you're not here to harm me. I'd just like to know if there's the spirit of a little girl that's still here. Is there a little girl still residing within this building after the fire? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hello? I remember at one point I heard a really loud bang, almost as if someone or something were in the air ducts of the basement. Residing within this building after the fire? Whoa, whoa, whoa. It could have been an animal, who knows? But immediately after, the REM pod starts going nuts. Hey dude, I just heard a loud bang. Can you please check the cameras? If you got it already set up.
Cameras are live. I can see everything.
What the? What? There was a point in time where I started to doze off a little, leaning against the wall on the floor, and I was awoken by this really weird sound. I know you guys could hear that. I don't know how to explain it, but it was like this echoing, pulsating noise from within the building. and it kind of sounded like voices that were a bit muffled. It was hard to tell, and then I also heard footsteps above me. I know you guys could hear that. After sitting in silence for maybe 20 or 30 minutes, all of a sudden, Colton says something to me that made my heart sink to my stomach.
Listen, bro, I don't want you to freak out right now. But there's someone or something in there with you. I just saw something pass that camera in the hallway.
What do you mean you saw something? Like a person?
I saw something interfere with the camera. I could see like the outline of the doorway that's behind it, and then it just went black. I saw something move by and the big motion detector went off.
Alright, bro, but if there's someone here, I'm not... Hold on.
Yeah, chill out. I'm getting in the car right now. I'm gonna run down there and let's start.
After getting out of there, we went back and reviewed the footage, and this is what he captured when he thought someone was in the building.
I get that he was attempting to establish a line of communication with spirits, but why the need to shackle himself like that? Just picture it, if some crook strolled in on him, he'd be toast in a mere 30 seconds. The house in the next video rocked so many views not so long ago, as it was featured by pretty much every channel in this industry. Almost every channel. As you see, I'm still one to have never featured it. So here comes my time to shine, because when the night sky is upon us, we will glow to light up the darkness. It sounds like you're about to say some poetry, but that sounds more like you're describing yourself more like an insect, that one who glows in the dark. Thanks for the compliment, but now it's time to get the juicy horror juiced out of the next video. How cringe. But it gets even worse. How is that? Well, you see, the next video isn't specifically the one that spread around recently. It's more like its distorted twin brother that should have never been born. How terrifyingly ugly. So get into it. What is the video? The well-known version involves a group of investigators trying to get close to the window of this small abandoned house when, all of a sudden, something from the inside, like a creepy creature, peeks at them. While in this one, which is their second attempt, they were able to go in and out. Inside, there seems to be some tiny creature lurking at them from above. Unfortunately, I couldn't see it clearly. Even when they slowed the footage and zoomed in, I was only able to pick some dirt off my screen. Regardless, according to their translation, one of them felt the presence of something invisible around him, like the blowing of some wind on his neck, and both heard the sound of someone behind them. How awfully scary. But then, the door of the house slammed shut by itself, and it took the cameraman 3 days, 12 hours, and 50 seconds, plus multiple meals in between and a jump cut, to turn around and show us the door closed. Upon checking, they found no one, but they sat up the camera inside only to capture the terrifying truth.
Ôn smang smart đấy, hay sai người ta chất. Ok, premier rồi ní không khang như dương nấu khang lợp thế, bà mình này ấy. Đây cái nạp bên ní buộc trong bên này nấu khang khóng. Được, hả? Bắt, mày ơi, mày. Camera cạnh co thế này. Mày. Hả? Mày. Sao chưa mơ này. Mày nè. Cái lấy dạ bong khơi mấy nữa nè. Hay mày cũng tha được miên ấy. Bảo như rồi. Mình đang thả ra nhưng mà tỉa lắm cái con này. Ê nó trong. Mau chia sẻ lấy dùng trong mối. Xây này. Sao này? Mà. Bà phải mất dương nào khẳng lơ lư khẳng cong, nào khẳng cong lư khẳng lơ. Bà nó thụp ọp cả nào thế. Mấy thế ấy.
Được cái đánh bao lại.
Cắt chơi camera. Bà đặt camera trao. Nó không? Vì admin ấy cuối ở tốt vía này. Thế à? Bạc ơi mong. Rồi tí nha.
The terrifying thing I just mentioned at the end of my introduction was more about the rest of the crew than the so-called paranormal activity. Where did they come from? It almost seems as if they forgot they were still staging. I mean, still recording the video. Look, there are no jokes when it comes to this last video. But why? I thought we were here for the laughs. Then you are in the wrong video. This is a top scary ghost videos caught on camera list, not the other way around. What do you think of my serious tone? Doesn't it make me cooler when I talk with that kind of intuition? Now why is the next video so strange? Because it's scary, but the scary nature of it doesn't come from some objects moving on their own, the atmosphere of the place, or even some jinn appearances. Then where does it come from? It comes from your intestines, where all disgusting sounds and smells come from. I think I went a little off topic here. The scary nature of this video comes from the truth behind it. And what is the truth? Do you want me to give you another corny line? Or the real stuff? Because the real stuff is this lady is under some heavy pressure from a jinn who doesn't want to leave her body, no matter what it costs. Did they offer the jinn money? Did they offer you a brain? This lady is going through an exorcism session where the sheik is trying to cure her by trying to expel the jinn from inside her body.
Jus sudah keluar. Ini siapa? Yang Islam itu? Ini yang itu katakan Islam itu? Kamu siapa? Kamu siapa? Kamu siapa? Kamu siapa? Kamu siapa? Kamu siapa? Ya, kamu siapa?
Izul.
Hah?
Si Izul.
Izul? Izul, kamu dari mana Izul?
Izul.
Izul, kamu dari mana? Izul, kamu dari mana? Izul, kamu dari mana? Mengapa kamu masuk ke tubuh jasad ini?
Aku mau jaga dia.
Hah?
Aku mau jaga dia.
Kamu jaga dia?
Tahu.
Itu alasan kamu saja?
Enggak, ya baik.
Hai Izul. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil. Cukuplah kami, cukuplah Allah menjadi wakil kami. Cukuplah Allah menjadi pelindung kami.
Jangan keluarkan biar aku sini dalam ini, Bang.
Kalau kamu nak keluar, tidak perlu.
Ya.
Manusia ini tidak perlu jagaan kamu.
Aku mau
Dia
jaga ya.
dia cukup dijaga oleh Allah.
Aku jaga ya saja.
Betul, perhatikan.
Aku jaga ya. Aku jaga ya. Aku jaga ya.
Dengarkan.
No, enggak.
Kamu mau dengar?
Aku mau kawan sama dia.
Kamu mau dengar? Kamu mau dengar?
Ya bagus, Bang. Bagus.
Jasad ini datang kemari untuk kamu supaya berpisah dengan dia.
Aku udah mau pisah.
Apa alasan dia?
Aku udah mau pisah sama dia.
Apa alasan kamu sehingga kamu tidak berpisah?
Aku udah mau pisah sama dia.
Apa pasal?
Dia baik orangnya.
Baik orangnya? Tapi kenapa kamu menyakiti jasad ini? Hah? Kalau kamu merasa baik dan kamu merasa melindungi jasad ini, kenapa kamu masuk dalam macam ini? Sesuatu yang menyakiti maka dia zalim. Maka kamu tidak ada hak untuk masuk dalam tubuh ini. Kalau kamu merasa melindungi, maka tidak macam ini cara perlindungan pada dia. Dan kamu yang selalu perhatikan.
Jangan keluarkan dari badannya.
Perhatikan.
Jangan keluarkan dari badannya.
Perhatikan.
Enggak.
Perhatikan.
Enggak.
Oke, kalau kamu sudah memperhatikan, maka akan saya bacakan Al-Quran depan kamu supaya kamu tersisa. A'udzu billahi minasy syaithanir rajim. Pegang lagi pegang. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Jangan keluarkan dia.
Kalau kamu keluar, kamu zalim.
Nah, aku tidak mau keluar. Tidak mau. Aku mau keluar. Tidak.
Kamu keluar.
Tidak.
Kamu keluar.
Tidak.
Kamu keluar.
Tidak.
Kamu keluar.
Tidak.
Kamu set pukul. Kamu keluar.
Tidak.
Kamu keluar. Kamu keluar. Kamu keluar.
Tidak.
Kita baca.
Tidak.
Kita baca.
Lapas darah badannya nih. Aku lapas darah badannya. Aku tidak mau. Tidak.
Dia kawanku. Kamu jangan sekali-kali Bahkan kamu sekarang. Apa kamu kenapa kamu Islam menyakiti agama Islam yang lain? Kamu jangan mencari keluarga di tempat manusia. Kamu zalim. Kamu zalim apabila kamu masuk ke manusia. Untuk itu kamu saya carikan kamu kawan banyak kamu salah. Dan kamu dengarkan semuanya. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Demi Allah, apabila aku berbuat lagi, maka Allah akan mengutuk aku. Maka kamu keluar. Oke, keluar. Ucapkan salam sama semua orang di sini. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Wahai Zul, kamu keluar. Saya doakan kepada Allah kamu selamat dan tetap mendapatkan perlindungan Allah dan mendapat hidayah Allah dengan Islam yang kamu pegang saat ini. Assalamualaikum.
By the way, this video is 15 years old, which honestly doesn't mean much. I just had to throw that in there because it tugs at my heartstrings. You can't imagine how much I yearn for those bygone days. Here I am, reminiscing about the past, all while a woman grapples with a rather intense jinn possession in the video. It might come off as a tad disrespectful, I admit, but what's a nostalgic soul to do? Ahmad and the Sheik, it's a never-ending story with so much chemistry involved. How romantic. No, you idiot, the relationship here is between two friends. One is the investigator, and the other is the Sheik, the man of faith who has the experience to expel the ghosts and demons. So what are they doing here today? They are hanging out for fun. They are here because they have a serious situation where they have to take the goat leg from inside this abandoned building. A goat leg, you say? What kind of game is this? A game? This goat leg you're making fun of is one that could literally break the life of someone. Well, if it hits him hard, then it will cause some damage. So you don't get it yet. We are talking about some black sorcery here. So it's a ripped part of the goat's leg, the heel part, wrapped around with strings, and within it are some talismans, demonic words that could only lead to riots for whomever it was made for. That doesn't sound like fun anymore. Then what did these two do in order to expel this sorcery? They made some tea and drank it right in front of it. But no, they gathered all the courage in the world and tried to take it, but every time they got close to it, some activity took place. You can hear some objects being moved in the background, but the most terrifying part was the sound of a witch. Where was she? She was here at my house, making sounds from my room, while we hid some speakers in there. She was hiding somewhere in the place. At some point, Ahmad even lost consciousness, twice in fact. Was she that ugly? He didn't do it because of her face, as she was never caught.
Sheikh.
بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض والسماء والسميع العليم. بسم الله الذي لا يضر مع اسمه شيء في الأرض والسماء. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
شيخ ما كان يمه يا ابن ما كانت هيك.
ايش كان
ما كانت هيك مربوطة، ما في كان مفتاح. هذا مفتاح. ايوه.
بسم الله.
شيخ
نقسم بالله العظيم، نقسم بالله العظيم على كل من تواجد في هذا المكان، نجينا بالسلام وأمان. سلام وأمان.
سمعت الصوت؟
أيوة.
سمعته؟
أيوة.
من وين طلع؟
أيوة من هون. بسم الله. بسم الله. صوت هون.
ايش؟
شيء هون. 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 هون الصوت طلع من هون. وإن صدقته.
ايش حكت؟
من أتى عرافا وصدقه فقد كفر بما نزل على محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. كفر. ادعوك استغفرك بالله، قولي أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله وتوبي إلى الله. تروح عند عرافين بتستهتر، بتسأل عرافين بالفنجان وبالتراب، تستهتر. شو مالك؟ شو مالك؟ اقعد سامع صوت؟ اقعد
لا ما راح نطلع
اهدي شوي
ماشي
نطلع يا زلمه خلص.
بدي اكمل والله.
يا تعبت نطلع.
ان شاء الله يجيبوا جو.
ها؟
لا شيخ.
بسم الله.
شيخ
بسم الله.
هيو.
بسم الله. بسم الله. ما تحرش انت مهلك، ما تتحرك.
ماشي حاضر.
ما تتحرك. بسم الله.
شيخ.
اقعد.
شيخ.
ما تتحرك. ما تتحرك يا أحمد. اقعد. تعبت انت؟
والله تعبت.
يلا.
لا ما راح اطلع. ما راح اطلع.
الله اكبر كبيرا. الله اكبر كبيرا.
يما شو؟ ايش؟
تدمر ايه؟
شيخ
طالعين بس اخلصي. إذا بتوب إلى الله، توب إلى الله ستحاسب عند الله. هذا المكان توب إلى الله.
شيخ يما.
بسم الله.
شيخ وقسما بالله.
وقف انت ما تتحرك انت.
ماشي تعال شوف اللي صار. البسة ما بعرف من وين طلعت، كانت واقفة عند الرجل. شيخ في حدا بيحكي هون. شيخ في حدا بيحكي والله. في حد هيو سامع؟ في حد بيحكي.
الله أكبر الله أكبر على كل من طغى وتجبر واعتدى وظلم. الله أكبر الله أكبر. بس أقول لي هذا الإجر هون شو بدي؟
شيخ
بسم الله.
شيخ
هاي القطة هاي؟
لا العرافة تحت الخشب يا ابن الحلال، صوتها من تحت الخشبة.
تعرفين أنت؟ ذكرناكي بالله ذكرناكي بالله احنا ذكرناكي بالله. بأي لحظة بتموتي، بأي لحظة بتغادري. هنا ينفعكي العرافة، هنا ينفعكي السحر. بسم الله.
يا ابن الحلال هسه كانت هون. بدك تاخذها معك. تمام.
عشان ايش؟
بسم
الله. بسم الله. الله أكبر.
يما.
الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لما قربت عليها أنت، لما قربت تمسكها صح؟
والله ما لمستها.
قربت تمسكها صرت معك هيك.
شيخ دخت.
شو مالك؟ أحمد لا. أحمد 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 اصحى أحمد. بسم الله الله أكبر. بسم الله بسم الله بسم الله. أحمد 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 أحمد.
خلينا أفوت معك يا ابن الحلال.
أحمد
خلينا أفوت معك.
خليك.
طب خلينا أفوت معك.
ثواني بس، أعطيني دقيقة واحدة بس.
خلينا أفوت معك.
بالله عليك ما تتحرك.
حاضر.
بالله.
In the end, the sheik came out of there alive and took that piece of sorcery with him to study it and see how to break it, so the sorcery may never harm anyone if it hasn't already done so. I don't know why I like the guy in the next video, but his way of pronouncing words amuses me. It's clear enough to make an old homeless man cry, but we are not here to make old people cry. Really? I thought that was the whole purpose of the video. Maybe you are right. If we put things into context, people may cry after watching this video due to the fear they will have in their hearts. Things are about to get paranormal. How cringe. Anyway, Trevor and his sidekick cameraman were called by one of their friends. But why did he call them at that time of the day? Isn't it too late to call people? Doesn't he know respect? How about I give you his phone number and you can teach him some respect? Chill man, he calls them for help as he believes his house is haunted by some demonic spirits. So that's his belief, but is it actually real? That's why Trevor is here, to expel, to find the truth, or maybe to fabricate it, as after I finished the 3-episode series they made on the place, I came to a conclusion, but I will talk about that after you finish the video. They came into the house ready and prepared for any ghost who had the guts to make an apparition, or even a paranormal movement. At first, they were claiming to hear some sounds. I was calm and steady, trying to hold still, but when Trevor said he saw a shadow figure crossing by, I completely lost it, and all of it came out like a flood. I was talking about my experience in the toilet, but then things got scary when the lamb moved, followed up by the closed entrance door opening. Then the ovilus was sent flying off of Trevor's hand, all until he joined me and had a demonic stomach blast.
Hello everyone, I'm Trevor with Panic Attack Productions. Recently, a good friend of ours contacted us because they believe that their house is possessed by demonic spirits. They have asked that we come into their home to try to cast out these demonic spirits. So we are in the living room area of the house and see maybe if the demonic spirit can throw some things, because it has a history of throwing things throughout this house. So let's just cut right to the chase. We want to skip all the other little bullshit. We want to get right to it. Throw something.
Been scaring that family every night?
Come on.
I don't think you're strong enough.
Throw something. Did you hear that?
I thought I heard like a knock or a kind of a bang, but
It sounded like it came from the back end of the house.
yeah, I don't know if it's.
Should we go look or what? It could have been the house.
Well, I asked it to do it again.
If it is you, do it again. Make a noise for us. Boom, that was it again.
Yeah, it was.
I heard something very faint, but I heard it again in the back end of the house. I think we need to go check that out. That was... yeah, I did it twice.
Hey.
What?
I just heard something in the back room again, behind us, where we just left.
That room?
Yes.
In here?
Yes.
Maybe it's playing games with us. So are you playing with us? Or is there more than one demonic spirit here? It looked like down this hallway. Can you shine your camera down there so the audience can see? This is a long, dark hallway. I would have sworn I saw some sort of black figure down there, but I don't know if it's my eyes playing with me. All right.
Look, there's their suitcase. I guess they didn't even take it with them. They left all their suitcases here. They didn't even finish packing.
Why didn't she take her suitcase with her?
You want to ask a few questions here? And then
Yeah, let's...
So can you tell us your name?
Why are you...
What the hell was that?
What? You are not welcomed here.
That was loud.
Really loud. That came from the back of the house. Telling you, it came from that back room. This is the room where she said most of the activity took place. Look at all the books thrown everywhere. That is incredible. The shelves are open, or the drawers. That is crazy.
Look, the lamp is even turned
yeah,
over.
the lamp is turned over. I feel like there's something in here with us. What the? Oh my god, did that just move? Alright, you startled me just a little bit, but I got the message. You're here. Okay, so now that we know that you're here, come talk with us. I have a digital recorder here, and what we're going to do now is what we call an EVP session. You can actually speak into this device, and later on we can go back and actually listen to what you said. Who are you? Why are you here? Are you still here? Holy crap, what? That was the doorbell.
Who in the hell could be ringing a doorbell?
I don't know.
Go, 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 go.
Oh my god, the door is wide open. Why is the door open? This was closed.
Somebody had to unlock it.
Hello?
That door was locked, Trevor. That door was locked.
I know, that's weird. Is anyone here?
We can check. We need to check the static cam.
What? The camera wasn't filming the door though.
But we can check it for audio. See if you hear any sounds or anything.
See if we can hear someone walking in. I'm gonna ask yes and no questions, okay? You'll light it up once for no and twice for yes. Is there a spirit in this room with us right now? Did you see it?
No.
It blinked twice for yes. I said, is there a spirit here? It blinked twice for yes. Okay. All right. We need to try to stay calm so we're not freaking any spirits
You
out.
do need to stay calm.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So was that you? Did you ring the doorbell and did you open the front door? Light it up once for no, twice for yes. Wow. Look at it. Look at it. It was like multiple times there. Are you a good spirit? Oh my god! Are you kidding me? It just yanked that out of my hand.
What's wrong with you, Trevor? What are you doing?
Do you smell that?
I smell what?
It's like a really
bad odor smell or something. Can you smell it?
No, I don't smell it at all.
Oh, God. I'm not feeling too well. That's a bad smell. How do you not smell that?
I don't smell anything right now.
Oh, it's so bad. It smells so bad.
Let me just chill out for a second and just...
I think I need to go to the bathroom.
I don't think you really want to know what happened to Trevor after he went to the bathroom. So it's one of two. Is it sad or scary? It's sadly scary. I don't want you to feel just as I did after I saw the ending. It was really heartbreaking. Roland in his fancy haunted apartment. This video is a little different, and to be honest, I feel more lost than he does every time I take a look at it or scrub over the timeline to remember some of the events that took place. I don't know why that undershirt he is wearing is throwing me off. I just can't hold it. Instead of telling us about your personal problems and how you can't handle them, how about you tell us more about Roland and how he feels about the situation he is dealing with in his very fancy-looking house that we will never make it to the point in life to purchase something similar. If you insist, he is claiming that he has been followed by what looks like a dark figure, which he encountered walking outside his property, and as he described, it was chasing him. Wait, since when jinn figures chase others from behind like stalkers? Well, the man didn't believe it was 100% a jinn, so he suspects it could be a stalker, but how can you not tell the difference? How inexplicably scary. We go through some paranormal activity taking place in his house, from the chair that was somehow put in such an artistic position while the chandelier is swinging in the attic. There seems to be something hidden in there. In the storage room, where he stored a freaking Mac PC as if it were nothing, he found the drill's light turned on. The small mirror on the sink was moving. But are you ready to hear this? Is it so scary? It could be to some, but you thought this fancy house was his only. Then think again. I don't know if this is the one he calls the pool house or not, but as he was walking towards his other house, someone or something was chasing him, but he couldn't find him. How creepy.
After reviewing the footage of what has been happening in this house, I've noticed that tall, dark figure that just walked by the window outside in that room that's been having a lot of paranormal activity, and I don't know if that figure is something demonic or if it's a stalker, but that same figure has been following me at night while I'm walking in the neighborhood, especially when I went over to the pool house, which was very far from here. After I went swimming at the pool house, I went for a walk at night. That same figure, once again, following me, trying to keep their distance. Somebody's in this house. I just got back here. Now, this is not the first time this happened. That chair is sitting like that. Why would that be like that? Somebody in here? Oh, what the hell? That is moving. What the? Okay. Sound like the horn just beeped in here, and there's no way. That's moving up there. Now why the hell is that moving? What the hell? Somebody up in there? What the f... Alright, what the hell's going on in there? Who's in there? How can somebody get in here with this right here? I got this Tesla parked right. How are they gonna get in there? Who's in the attic? Oh. What the hell? Who the hell's in here?
All right, who's in here?
All right, what the hell? All right, where did... There's no way. All right, what the hell happened in here?
All right, so who's been opening the cabinets in here?
Look at this.
Look, there it goes.
What? How?
How does that happen? Oh, I see you forgot one right there, huh? What?
What the hell? What? All right, somebody's messing with me. What the?
All right, there's the other one, huh? Oh, look.
What the hell?
Who's in this house? Somebody just knock.
Sound like somebody just knocked like this. What the hell? What in the hell?
All right, who just turned these drills on? Turn them off.
What the hell?
Whoa. All right, that just moved. Is there a spirit in here that just moved this mirror? If you're in here, move the mirror back where it came from. Can you please move it back?
All right, let's see where.
Oh, look. All right, it's moving. All right, I get it. Can you please just leave my house? Oh, stop touching my mirrors and moving things. Just leave my house, please.
What in the hell? Things have been pretty quiet all day since I've been here. And now I just heard somebody yell, "You know who I am," like in a deep, loud whispering yell. What the heck? Somebody's legit following me. I just walked away from the pool house. And somebody was there. I turned around to go see who the hell it was. They ran off into the woods, and now I'm hearing people. Or at least one person. Sounds like somebody's walking in the woods behind me. It's about a block back there. I'm just gonna keep walking and see what happens.
This man is living GTA in real life. He calls his other house the pool house, and I'm here giving my toys some names. But nonetheless, I'm still thinking about that chair. I have never seen a more perfect move by a djinn. I never knew they had an artistic taste. I would never encourage anyone to go to an abandoned factory unless I love that person so much that I want to get rid of him. Then I will send him to the most abandoned factory I can find and let him investigate. Then the police will join him later on to the investigation. but he will be missing. And honestly, if my friends were like Ben and his friend in the next video, an abandoned factory may not be enough, and that's why I will make sure to be there secretly so I can get the job done myself. But why? What did these two do to provoke me this much? You see the title on your screen. Can you see it? Can you effing read it? Tell me, Tim, can you read? The title says the F word in a nutshell, and I have my reasons to call it that. See, the uncut version of these two investigations has so many F words that the word has lost its magical touch for me. You know, when we use that word in a sentence, we are trying to make the sentence appeal more to listeners, make it sound like we know what we are talking about, or make things sound funnier. But these two, and especially Ben, they have ruined the reputation of such an important and beautiful word. What a shame. Regarding their investigation, they made 2 videos about the factory. And in both, Ben screamed top of his lungs. Even pregnant women would feel jealous when they hear it that they will have to try harder the next time they give birth. In the first one, they just went inside, heard some bangs and footsteps. Then some idiot had enough of these two. He lost his mind and shouted at them. In the second part, they brought the most teenage-looking Ouija board I have ever seen, so they can use it inside the factory. That thing would never work, and with the monster energy drinks they had, it was too much. If I was a ghost inside that place, I would never stay there one more minute, and the trick from the first investigation worked again and they scurried away.
Did we try the door? Oh my Zach. This is a horror movie. Oh my god. What the Some little helmet. Where's the big fat... That random chair is sitting there. Zark. Did you not just hear that?
Yeah, it was.
And then the bang after it?
This is like a bang.
Holy f. What have we done? Bro. That was on the roof. That was... Footsteps. Stairs. There's a second story.
Yeah, there is.
Here we go.
Oh no.
There's offices around here.
Yeah.
We've got offices to explore. Amenities. Bro.
Did you get that on?
I got that on camera. No f***ing way that just happened.
Bro.
Hello? No, bro. I want to get the f*** out now. That was loud as f***. That was loud as f***. I'm freaking the f*** out, bro. That was loud as all f***.
I do not want to go out there. We're like stuck up and doors.
Yeah.
There wasn't any water down there.
I know.
There was never anything there.
Oh wow. Oh great. Oh what the f***. I just found the basement. This is where everything goes wrong. Zark. Is that upstairs? Bro, this place is full of noises and legit rat. Oh my god! Oh my god! Go! Keep going! Go, Zach! Go!
This is way out.
Yeah, go! What's going on, guys? Ben Bauer here. I am joined with Zach Bryant once again. And today, where are we, Zach?
We're back at the haunted. I always f*** that up.
Abandoned haunted factory. Today we are back at the abandoned haunted factory. That's it. That's footsteps down the stairs. That's going down the stairs. That was too cunt. Hello? Hello? Zach. Oh my god. That was down the. It was. Hello? That's it. No, that's walking. Bro, get out. Right, no, that's walking. I reckon do the Ouija board in this room. Yeah, this looks. Knocking. It's like boom, boom. That was knocking.
Was it?
Are there any spirits here with us tonight? Move to yes. There it is again. There it is again. What the f was that? Bro, that was down here. Shh. I can hear it. Hello? Hello? Oh my god! Oh my god! Zach! Go! Zach! Where are you, Zach? Zach! Go! Run! Oh my god!
When he presented his buddy to us and declared his complete name, I thought, why did he roll it out like that? Acting like he's some major celeb name or whatnot. He dropped the name Zach Bryant, as if I should instantly recognize the guy. You typically reserve the full name treatment for the big shots, like Michael Jordan or Muhammad Ali, not for Zach Bryant. By the I don't completely know the story we have next, as not enough context was provided, which is always the best excuse I use, so no one can blame me for the lack of information provided. But don't worry, if we don't have a story, we can definitely make one up. Are you joking, man? Are you joking in the middle of a video that should make us tremble and fear and terror? Is that what you had in mind going into this video? How pity. But we have these 3 investigators. Where are they? They are in the abandoned house in the next video. So you're lying to us. Is that what's happening here? What do you mean I'm lying? These are some serious claims. Well, earlier you said we have these 3 investigators, but you showed us no one. Before I lose more viewers, Mike, Mark, and Malik are here to conduct a ritual using a lit-up stick and a golden jar. How detailed? I know that this information would change the narrative of the story, but after finishing the session, things started getting messed up. Really? How is that? Mike heard some heavy footsteps, as if they were going upstairs with some sailor's boots, but somehow they didn't notice anyone around them going to the 2nd floor using the staircase right beside them. And guess what? He wasn't wearing any shoes. How dusty. The place is full of dust and microbes. Wasn't that person worried about his health? Is that really all you have to say? How ridiculous. Plus the fact that we later find out that who was making these noises was no one other than a scary shadow figure. Wait.
จะเริ่มทำพิธีเรียกอัญเชิญวิญญาณสัมภเวสีรอบๆนี้มานะครับขนลุกไหมเอาจริงขนลุกตั้งแต่มาแล้วนะใช่ที่กวาดดาคือบรรยากาศมันน่ากลัวจริงวะอยู่ตรงศพข้างบนดิบ้านยิ่งสวยเฮ้ยดูข้างบนไม่ยิ่งหลอนน่ะใครมาอยู่ตรงนี้ไม่รู้จริงว่ามันหลอนจริงนะเว้ยจะหาว่าแบบบ้านธรรมดาหรือมันดูหลอนจริงหลอนตั้งแต่เข้ามาแล้วตั้งแต่ก่อนเรียกทำพิธีแล้วเนี่ยแม่ตอนนี้ใจเต้นมากเลยตึกเลยอากาศก็เย็นๆมองบนกับหัวแม่หรือกับหัวต้องกับหัวเห็นไหมคนลุกอ่ะ ระหว่างรอที่หมายุดหอนหมายุดเห่าใช่ไหมหอนยุดเห่า
สุดหอนเลย
ทำไมมันยุดห
ห
อ
อน
น
แล้วมันเงียบเขาใช้ความเงียบมัน
เงียบแล้วเย็น
เย็น
เยื
เย
อก
อะเฮ้ยแค่กูสั่นเลยกูบอกเลยตอนเนี้ยหนากูจริง
เสียงอะไรเนี่ย
เสียงเดิน
ไม่เสียงคนเดิน
เหมือนเสียงคนเดิน
เสียงคนเดินเดี๋ยว
ไอ้นุ่มมาพูด
นี่ไปดิ
ได้ยินเสียงคนเดินนะ
มันเสียงคนเดินเลยในสองนี้แอปเอาไปนี่เอาไปนี่ก่อน
คนเดิน
ไม่ได้เสียงแม้มันเสียงเพราะนี่มันเป็นไม้นะผมแม้งั้นเดิน
เสียงคนเดินเลยเมื่อกี้ได้ยินไงนึกว่าเสียงแมวเสียงหมาเดิน
โอ้ยมันเสียงคนเดินเลยเมื่อกี้จริงๆไม่ได้ยินกันใช่ไหม
ได้ยิน
กูยิงกันเดินกึกเลยอ่ะเฮ้ยมึงเห็นไหมเฮ้ยเฮีย
เจ็ดคน
เฮ้ยรอยตีนเฮียมันเป็นรอยน้ำป่ะเนี่ย
เฮ้ยมันเป็นฝุ่นครับเฮ้ยเดี๋ยวโทษนะ
ดูที่สมก่อนดิ
เหยียบไม่มีไงนะไม่เหยียบ
มันเป็นรอยตีนเลยอ่ะมันเป็นรอยตีนเปล่าอ่ะ
เฮีย
เดี๋ยวเอาเงินสุดขนาดมาขนาดนี้แล้วหายมันแค่เงาหายไปเลย
ตรงไหนดิ
มันหายไปตรงนี้เลยเห็นไหมปะเดี๋ยวขอไปดูก่อนนะกูคาใจเราหนีจังหวะนี้จริงๆแหละเดี๋ยวไอ้แค่กูเสียวไหมเมื่อกี้มันลอยขึ้นตรงนี้
Wait, since when do shadow figures or ghosts have footprints? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, if you want to make a terrifying scene, you don't have to go over the board with your imagination. Just read some real stories about the jinn hauntings, and you could get a clear idea of how they behave. Look, I don't have any problems with peekaboos. In fact, I do love them sometimes. I thought we were talking about someone's experience with the shadow figure peeking inside his house in the next video. And I also thought the same, but how did you figure out what you're about to watch? Am I really that generic? How sad. This man, let's call him Chris, is someone who has been dealing with what he calls a shadow figure appearing in his house, mostly in his bathroom. If he calls him a shadow figure, I call the police if I was at his house. Why? What could the police do in this situation? They only deal with crime, and as far as we know, jinn haunting a house is some kind of invasion over someone else's property, but there is no law to punish them. So in this case, you will call a priest who can expel these demons away from your house and make sure that the house is blessed enough that they won't return anymore. But if this man calls the priest, he will be laughing on his way out of the house. Laughing, you say, why is that? Because that thing over in Chris's house is no way a shadow. It's your regular, everyday redneck neighbor next to you who is playing madness on you. And these growlings are clear evidence.
So, I've been hearing some strange noises coming from this bathroom. And so I'm going to set up this camera to record and see if we catch anything. I've never caught anything on camera before, so I'm hoping that this might be the first time, but kind of sounds like scratches. Okay, I don't know if you can hear this. I'm going to try to be really quiet. I'm being really quiet. Is somebody in there? some more stuff. So we are going to keep on here. And we're going to see what's going on.
All right, guys, so you wanted an update. So here is the shower. That's where the cat goes to the bathroom, so nobody's in there. Nobody's in the bathroom. Nothing's behind the door. All right, we're turning the light off because it doesn't like the light. Here's my fiance.
I don't want to be on camera.
Okay.
I don't think we should be engaging it.
It's fine. It hasn't done anything. It's not really being too like creepy or anything. It just does. So we've been playing peekaboo. Peekaboo. Okay, guys. I think I looked up a little bit. Do you hear that? Is that? Charlie, the cat's right here. She doesn't seem to be worried about it. Okay, so my friend came again and she did another ritual and smudging. She said that the original spirits that she got rid of the first time were gone, but something else had taken their place. And it was not in the bathroom. It was standing in the corner of our bedroom. It has gotten interesting, to say the least. We're now hearing footsteps in the hallway, walking past our door. At odd hours the other morning, the power went out and I was hearing the footsteps. I was trying to make a video for you guys and I captured this. The power's out. There's no power, but there's power in the other apartments. It's just mine. So I don't really understand why. Maybe I just go to the breaker box. Oh, the breaker.
But a cat was sensing something off in the house, as if she were sensing the presence of an invisible force. Why invisible? It was very visible and clear to me when it was standing on the side of the corridor. A man has called up the investigator Toby to come for a visit and hear his very intensely terrifying story about his house hauntings. So, what was the answer from Toby? Do you really want to know what he replied with? Because it was a little over the edge and inappropriate to a lot of people, but he was like, I already have enough problems to deal with. Why would I need to listen to others complaining about such nonsense? Now, that's how I would have said it if I were the investigator, but that's why Toby works as an investigator, so he can stage as many houses. So he can explore as many houses and paranormal activities as possible. And here he answered the duty. The story of this house goes something like this. The owner has been dealing with paranormal encounters involving a ghostly child. The house's history includes accounts of a frozen, baby-like entity crawling toward people at night. He also recounts his own recent encounter with a similar entity. The house's unsettling atmosphere and strange reflections in the windows add to the eerie ambience. Now Toby plans to stay overnight, set up cameras, and conduct paranormal experiments to capture any activity and make contact with the entity. So upon this investigation, what was he able to come up with? A new formula that will break the world of burger sandwich making. He first conducted the Ouija session in order to get in touch with the spirits lurking in the dark corners of the house. Wasn't the place well lit up? That's not what I was referring to. In doing so, he heard some noises coming from the other room, so he got up and decided to take a closer look. And a closer look he took, but found nothing, only for him to go back to continue his visit. But the planchette had other ideas. Other ideas? Like what? Like, how about you stop pressing me hard in order to move me and instead play the game for real? So it flew off the table, and while in the bedroom, the fan fell to its doom. The most terrifying encounter was the mirror closet shaking. It was so scary that we spent hours watching that one activity. For the finishing touch, open that faucet and let that doll come to life.
Охренеть. Тут звуки сейчас какие-то были. Блядь. Вот и первый звонок. На себе. Ребята, ящик открыт. Тихо. И оно не прекращается вообще. А че следует? Тронусь. Твою мать. Черт. Попробую наставить стримы как раз. С вами устроим стрим. Блять, она шевелилась сейчас или что? Да не, мне не показалось, она реально сейчас шевелилась.
That doll's involvement in the investigation was nothing to be seen, so I wonder why it was there in the first place. Was it brought by Toby, or did the owner think it was cool to have a weird doll inside his so-called haunted house? Mark has invited his friend Andrew over to his house in order to discuss a serious situation. It sounds like it's about to get spicy. Are you referencing the channel by any means here? Because it doesn't sound cool at all. Now, what kind of situation was so serious that he had to invite him over to discuss it? Was it due to his true emotions towards their relationship and the fact that he had deeper intentions than those anticipated by Andrew? Why does it have to be this way? Isn't there any other serious topic to talk about nowadays other than that one? So, he wanted him to come over so he could end his skepticism. About what? Don't tell me Andrew was assuming Mark would not be straight. See, you're going back to the same point. No, Andrew is a skeptic about ghosts and their existence, and Mark is someone who deals with them on a regular basis due to his property being haunted, as he claims, and despite all the videos he has taped and shown to Andrew, he is still as stubborn as a bull. But today, this all changes, as somehow, after living on this property for long enough, he still had no idea this small barn-like place was hidden within the trees inside his property. So, he decided to take Andrew with him to investigate it, as he has been hearing some screaming growls that seem too strange to be true coming from that area. Upon investigating, they managed to capture these sounds, but not only that, they got a clear image of who was behind them. It was creepy. Or was it?
This is Andrew. I haven't actually introduced him yet, but there it is. You hear that? That's the noise. Eric refused to come back out after our last experience, so we've been following this noise back here. You can hear it. Okay, we just need to be quiet. We need a light. Do you see that up there? What is that? Hey, do you have a light? Shine it up there.
What?
Look. Look.
My camera's not picking it up.
No.
I definitely...
It comes right here. Look. What's that red?
What is this?
Is that a house? That's a freaking house.
It looks like...
There is no house on my property. I've never seen... There's no way that this is real. Here. Go forward.
What the heck?
There's no way that this is real. This thing... Hey, this thing has run at me before. This thing has come at me before. So I'm just warning you right now. Stay cautious. If you see this thing, just turn around and run, alright? If it comes at you, just do whatever you can to get it off you. You can use the knife. Just... Is that the door? Wait a minute.
This is definitely a door.
Just wait. We have to make sure there's nothing in here. Just stay quiet. There's freaking graffiti on the walls. Nobody ever comes out on my property. Have people been coming out on my property?
It's like a barn.
What the heck is this? Are you freaking kidding me? People have been coming out of my property? How come I've never seen this house before?
Look at this.
How could I've never seen this before?
Can't even get over it. This seems to be some sort of like kitchen. Well, at least what used to be a kitchen. Oh my god.
Okay. We're gonna get up. We're gonna get up. And we're gonna walk out. We're gonna get up and we're gonna walk out. Okay. Let's walk out. Let's get it. Just go. He's got ring of light. Shh. Be quiet. If he can't hear us, it's not gonna find us. Which way do we come in? Where's the door? It's through here. It's through. Shh. Be quiet. What's that? Just be quiet. Shh. Hear that? I think it's on the roof. The heck is that? Oh, shoot! Just get out of the house! Just get back to the house! Jesus Christ, Jesus.
After this experience, not only Andrew will be a skeptic, but so will I. But why though? That thing was truly terrifying, and it was clear as day that it wasn't computer generated. Have you ever heard of a mask? Yeah, these things exist.
There it is.
I almost forgot about the guy in the next video. I featured him multiple times, and I was still going to feature him and stay on the rail, but for some reason, he got lost on the way. So here he is once again, Q, the dude who has the neat-looking house in which he always encounters different paranormal activities. Usually, it comes from the outside more than the inside. How so? Is there like a storage room outside or something? Nope, it's just the street, but he usually hears sounds and noises and even encounters phantoms. That sounds like you're cooking up something very terrifying next. You will be more disappointed than a father who just heard his son confess to him who he loves. It's just some clips of the same activity occurring on different days, which are some scratching sounds on the wall. But based on his cat behavior, something seems to be walking around the house outside.
この壁引っかいてるっぽいですね。 外気にしてるんですよね、Qちゃん。
Yeah, this ending wasn't the greatest, but at least it was the ending, which usually in my list could either be the best pick or the worst, but in the case of this one, it's actually the most boring one. And instead of discussing such an unimportant topic, how about I leave it up to you to tell me your opinion? On your way of doing so, how about you subscribe and watch the next video on screen? It sounds like a great deal to me.